Greetings, medieval dramatics. I know that there's a lot of scuttlebutt right about now about whether we're going to come back for classes at all, whether we're going to be online for a while and then come back towards the end of the term. Everything seems to be up in the air, and nobody really seems to know what's going to happen. It seems from the writing on the wall that we may well be looking at going online. And of course, in case nobody's mentioned it to you, you should probably be aware that there's a play in this class. And that, of course, is going to present all sorts of challenges, especially if we don't come back to campus at all. So let me start off by saying, of course, I don't know any more than you do, really. But I'm being very proactive, and I'm starting to put some materials up online. And if you don't have access to your books, for example, I'll see if I can't get PDFs up for you. And so much of this class in the second half tends to be really participation driven in putting together materials and doing the stuff in the various groups. Because, by the way, did you know there's a play in this class? But I've been giving this a lot of thought, and we do have a couple of contingency plans. So don't panic, as Jeremy Smith in the English language department of the University of Glasgow always said on the first day of Old English. Don't panic. He'd write it on the board. He was very funny. But as many of you know, I was a theater minor as well as an English major in college. Imagine that. Who's dramatic now? But I also worked the soundboard in the theater, and I also did a lot of work in copywriting for the radio station. And the reason I mention that, and I should say my brother works professionally in radio. I'm saying that because I'm envisioning an alternative possibility where we'll actually put together a podcast of Everyman that we'll really think about in terms of a radio drama, which at Baldwin Wallace, where I went, WBWC, the radio station, actually used to produce one of those every year. And my friend Pete Nagley, who now teaches at Oberlin, who ran the soundboard when I ran the light board in the theater, he actually used to help to produce those. So I've been in contact with him and with a number of other people, and I've got some ideas about that. Of course, it's not optimal. None of this would be. And I'm not saying it's a done deal. I just want you to know I'm thinking about these things. And we're going to muddle through one way or the other, and we're going to have fun doing it. So the purpose of this video today is just to say I am going to put stuff on Moodle. I'm going to be thinking in terms of alternative ways of envisioning the end of the term, if need be. And don't panic. It's all going to be fine. It's going to be fun. We're going to one way or another, we're coming up with a great product, and we're going to really think about new ways to envision Everyman. So rest assured of that. Also, I just want you to know that none of us are excited about this in terms of like if you all have to go home and I'm in my kitchen right now. That's just not what any of us signed on for, and I realize that. And I want you to know that all of your instructors realize it too. But it was really heartening. I went to a workshop this week on how to utilize some of these materials, and the rooms were just packed. I mean, people really want to do a good job. For the short term, I just want to say I'm going to put a bunch of stuff up on Moodle. I may be putting up some discussion forum materials, some quiz materials. We'll see how that rolls out relative to this particular class, which is a bit different from a lot of other classes. I will get on top of your midterms as soon as I have them from you, and I'll get those back to you within a week, I should think. That's in the short term. In the long term, we'll talk about it as it develops. But we do have Zoom, and I am going to give you the opportunity to come into class. Let's say maybe half the class period. Sorry, I just got an email, and so you got a little tone there. But we may spend maybe as much as half the class period just kind of checking in with one another. It's not an optimal platform for class discussion, but it does give us an opportunity to get together. So you'll hear more from me in the next few days. I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about this and I'm on top of it, and I'm going to stay in communication with you, and I'll continue to put materials up on Moodle for you. So stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, memento mori.